Alright, so this is just a quick showcase of the guard counter build that I've been running in Elden Ring. Um, as you can see with the equipment that I have, using the Sword of Night and Flame and the Brass Shield +6 with the Ash of War. There we go, the Ash of War Barricade Shield. Essentially what this does is makes your shield super strong for a short period of time. It also causes enemy attacks to bounce off of your shield, allowing you for a quick guard counter. One thing that's really nice about guard counters is they count as a heavy attack, so they do a lot of poise damage. This oftentimes will lead to staggering enemies with successful hits. The reason why I'm using the Sword of Night and Flame is because it has very high base damage, I believe the highest of all the longswords. And the reason why I'm using a longsword is because the guard counter has a really long range. Even if you get knocked back by a significant amount, you can usually tag the enemy. I'm also using it because its abilities are kind of nuts, the Night and Flame stance. And I'll showcase that in the next fight. As you can see, I'm level 83, so I'm pretty high level for this encounter. I realized that I hadn't done this fight, but it's a really good fight to showcase kind of why this build works. I'm running the heaviest armor I possibly can. I'm also running the Curved Sword Talisman for obvious reasons. Green Turtle Talisman to gain stamina quickly because this build kind of eats through stamina. I'm using the Assassin's Cerulean Dagger to restore FP on a critical hit, and that's because we're going to be getting a lot of staggers off. So this ultimately negates the FP costs from using your shield barricade. And lastly, I'm using the Great Shield Talisman. This basically makes my stamina cost 0 for blocking any physical attack. This is kind of a flex talisman. You can throw on whatever you want. You can put on the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman if you're going up against a lot of heavy hitters that just do physical damage, etc. You can kind of flex whatever you want for that talisman. And then I'm running a little bit of FP for my flask just so I can cast some spells too if I want to. I don't really use my talisman all that much, my Sacred Seal all that much, but it can be nice to have. So without further ado, let's jump into this boss fight here. This is the Crucible Knight, just outside of Stormhill. Typically I like to open up with a little laser beam attack. Now the laser beam attack actually scales with the weapon level, not so much your intelligence. You'll notice that blocking does almost nothing to my stamina. This guy gets staggered, and we're just able to get some hits off. See again, stamina, health, drop, absolutely none. Even with a shield bash, he doesn't lose stagger. No stamina. And we get a crit off. This time I won't follow up with a laser beam. Just do my thing. That has a lot of range. And heal up once, just for good measure. So, as you can see, I can pretty much block forever. Stamina doesn't go down. Take very little damage. Of course, I am very high level, but the fact remains, this build is really good just because it usually takes about 3 guard counters or 2 guard counters and an additional hit to stagger an enemy, a large boss, or a large enemy, even in the Altus planes. And I'll actually go showcase kind of what it looks like on one of the common enemies in the beginning of the Altus planes. So this build really gives a lot of Sekiro vibes. It's a very reactive build, combat style. I personally find it to be a lot of fun. Some might find it to be a little boring, um, but it definitely is great if you are tanking a lot of hits or you're not that great at timing dodge rolls. Of course, a couple downsides are obviously, if you miss time your guard counters, you could be open for an attack. Or if you miss time a grab attack, you could get hit by one. But 3 hits, gets the stagger. Damage-wise, obviously I could be doing a little bit more with an upgraded sword. But because I'm not really taking much damage, I'm just allowed to take my time against fights like these. So, anyways, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, hope you can kind of formulate a build around this. Yeah, this is a really fun mechanic. This guy wants to fight me too. Alright. That doesn't stagger. We're solid. Alright, thanks for watching.